So we are reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Volume 2, chapter title on the Bhavri. He is talking to a crowd who are deeply sad in their hip life. He knows that they can't immediately give up taking drugs, and there they sit with their common law wives. Their path is to play music, live with a woman, and meditate sometimes, and be free. After hearing his lecture, they will stay up all night with their instrument, their woman, their drugs, their interracial bohemian scene. Yet somehow they are drawn to Swami. He's got the good vibration of the kirtan and they want to help him out. They are glad to help because he has no one else. So Prabhupada is saying to them, quote, that's all right. Even if you can only do a little, it will be good for you. We are all pure spirit souls, but you have forgotten. You have fallen into the cycle of birth and death. Whatever you can do toward reviving your original consciousness is good for you. There is no loss, unquote. The Swami's main stress is on what he calls dovetailing your consciousness with the Supreme Consciousness. Krishna is the Supreme Consciousness and Arjuna, as a representative individual consciousness, is asked to act intelligently in collaboration with the Supreme Consciousness. Then he will be free from the bondage of birth, death, old age, and disease. Consciousness is a popular word in America. There is consciousness expansion, cosmic consciousness, altered state of consciousness, and now dovetailing the individual consciousness with the Supreme Consciousness. This is the perfection of consciousness, Prabhupada explains. This is the love and peace that everyone is really after. And yet, Prabhupada talks of it in terms of war. They are talking on the battlefield, and Arjuna says, quote, I will not fight. I will not fight with my relatives and brothers for the sake of achieving some kingdom. No, no. Now, to the ordinary man, it appears that, oh, Arjuna is a very nice man, non-violent. He has given up everything for the sake of his relatives. Oh, what a nice man he is. This is the ordinary calculation. But what does Krishna say? He said, quote, you are damn fool number one, unquote. Now just see, the things which are estimated in the public eye as very nice, very good, that is here condemned by God. So we have to reverse our life, then we will be successful. So you have to see whether the Supreme Consciousness is pleased with your actions. And Arjuna's action was not approved by Lord Krishna. It was for his own whim, sense gratification, that at first he would not fight. But in the end, for Krishna's satisfaction, he did fight, and that is our perfection. When we act for the satisfaction of the Supreme Consciousness, that's perfection. At these points, some in the audience are filled with reservations. They are all opposed to the role of the United States in Vietnam. And this idea is very difficult for them. Like Arjuna, they want peace. So why is Swamiji sanctioning war? Prabhupada explained, yes, Arjuna's idea not to fight is good. But then Krishna, the Supreme Consciousness, instruct him to fight anyway. Therefore, Arjuna's fighting is above mundane ethics. It is absolute. If we follow Arjuna, give up good and bad, and act for Krishna, not for our own sense gratification, and that is perfect. Because Krishna is the Supreme Consciousness. To some in his audience, although his answer seems philosophical sound, it is not quite what they want to hear. Still, they want to know his political views. Does he support America's involvement in Vietnam? Is he anti-war? But Prabhupada is neither hot nor cold. He has no political motive behind his example of Krishna and Arjuna. His theme is simple and pure beyond the good and the bad in the absolute. And to act in accord with the absolute is also beyond good and bad. But what about Vietnam? Does Krishna cease to fight there? No, Swamiji answers. The Vietnam War is different from the Kurukshetra War. In the Battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna was personally present, asking Arjuna to fight. Vietnam is different. But his audience has yet another objection. If he is not addressing the Vietnamese war, then why not? After all, this is the 1966. If he isn't talking about the war, then what is his relevancy? The Swami replies that his message is actually the most urgent and relevant. The Vietnamese War was an inevitable karmic reaction. It was one symptom, not the whole problem. And only this philosophy, surrender to the Supreme Consciousness, addresses the real problems. But for many, the reference to fighting is so emotionally charged that they can't go beyond the immediate politics of Vietnam to Prabhupada the real message of surrender to the Supreme Consciousness. They respect the Swami. They realize he is referring to a deeper philosophy. Yet, the story of Arjuna and the war makes things difficult. The Swami nonetheless continues to refer to Arjuna's fighting as a classic example of Bhagavad Gita's basic teaching. It is not the basic teaching his audience is having difficulty with. It's the example. Prabhupada had deliberately handed his audience a volatile analogy. He hasn't come to join their peace movement, and he doesn't accept their short-sighted concept of peace. He confronts them. It is better to fight in Krishna consciousness than to live in so-called peace devoid of God realization. Yes, the example is hard for them to accept. It makes them think, and if they do accept, then they might come near to understanding the absolute truth. It is very difficult, though, telling our consciousness with the Supreme Consciousness. Not at all. Not at all. No sane man will say, oh, it is not possible. He isn't suggesting that to dovetail with the Supreme Consciousness, they will have to go fight in Vietnam or perform some other horrible act on behalf of God. He knows that spiritual life will have to be more attractive than material life, Haribol, or his audience will never take it to it. He wants to bring the theme of dovetailing with the Supreme Consciousness down to something practical, something all attractive and beautiful, something anyone could do and would want to do. He wants to encourage them by saying that they can do their own thing. But for Krishna, Arjuna, after all, was a lifetime warrior. Krishna didn't ask him to give up his work, but to do it for the Supreme. So Prabhupada is asking the same of his audience, and they can begin with something as simple as their offering their food to God. Because everyone has to eat. So God wants to eat something. Why don't you first offer your food to God? Then you eat. But you may say, but if God takes it away, then how shall I eat? No, no, God will not take it. Daily, after preparing our foodstuff, we are offering to Krishna. There is a witness. Mr. David has seen Prabhupada love. God eats, but his spiritual and eating is such that even after his eating, the whole thing is still there. Haribol. So we shall not suffer a pinch if we dovetail our desire with the Supreme Lord. Haribol. We simply have to learn the art, how to dovetail. Nothing has to be changed. The fighting man did not change into an artist or a musician. If you are fighting a man, you remain a fighting man. If you are a musician, you remain as musician. If you are a medical man, you remain a medical man. Whatever you are, you remain. But dovetailing, if by my eating the Lord is satisfied, then that is my perfection. If by my fighting the Lord is satisfied, then that is my perfection. So in every sphere of life, we have to know whether the Lord is satisfied. That technique we have to learn. Then it is very easy as anything. We have to stop creating our own plans and thoughts and take the perfect plan from the Supreme Lord and execute them. That will become the perfection of our life. I think that was the theme yesterday when I was talking to Bhakta Jackson, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't want us to change, but change the consciousness. And once we change the consciousness, it should reflect in our practical activities. Otherwise, consciousness has not changed. And Lord Chaitanya has made acting on the platform of consciousness very easy. Just as there are some note makers of school books, easy study, so Lord Chaitanya has recommended that you be engaged in whatever occupation, but just hear about Krishna, continue to hear the Bhagavad Gita and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is for this that we are trying to organize this institution. So you have come, and whatever work you do, it doesn't matter. Everything will be adjusted by and by as our mind becomes clear simply by hearing. If you continue this process, chanting the Hare Krishna name, you will practically see how much your heart is becoming clear and how much you are making progress towards spiritual realization, the real identity of pure consciousness. Prabhupada, oh, it's already 6:55. We must be punctual. We should remain punctual. So we will stop here and see if anybody has any question, comment, correction, chastisement, as I do. You also have all the right if you see me doing something wrong. So I like to be chastised, you know. We need to chastise by someone. Then and then we can remain steadfast. Otherwise, this material world, even though we are drowning in the ocean of material existence, we think we are swimming very nicely. That's illusion. And these are the four defects. We born with it. Illusion, senses are imperfect, we are get misguided and cheated. And we have the cheating propensity. Very. So I think there are 27 devotees. Nobody wants to say anything. That shows that you have not heard anything. Because if you are here, there should be a question that, hey, Prabhu, why we cannot do it? That's what my Guru Maharaj used to say, that if you hear something, that you at least begin with something that you like it, then dwell on it. How you are going to implement in your life. And keep on working like that. Every day we should have something new realization. Devotional life is not stagnant.
Which I like the Shankarsan Prabhu's determination. What is the
Yes.
dedicated time and what are the other things he used to do? He would give up everything and then he spend his time for Krishna sadhana. Yeah, I like it, Prabhuji. It's great,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, he is very good. He said,
Yeah.
I don't care about the job. I have made my determination that I want to advance in spiritual life. So whatever it takes, I have to get adjusted. And he's so nice. He told me. Before that, he said, though people are so much bothering at night and they don't care. They don't use their intelligence even. Sometimes he used to tell me. They just want to dump the problem on the boss. But he made the determination, you know, that's it. He told me that he closed his computer, he shut down his phone, everything. Nobody can contact him for 5.5 hours. But you need to have a guts to do this. And if you do this, I guarantee you that Krishna will reciprocate with Sankarshan Prabhu, that he will become so strong, that he will become totally fearless. Who cares? If you want me to work for you, I will work as I want to work. That should be the motto, not that become a subservient. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, and ruin your life for the purpose that you have come in the material world by saying yes, 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 just for the green note. My Guru Maharaj used to tell me that this is green note, money is the honey. So yeah, when somebody donate the money, he used to say that, you know, Krishna doesn't see how much you have put in the donation box. So what he sees, how much you are keeping for yourself. That's what he sees. So for the poor man, Krishna becomes jubilant if they give even one penny. But for the rich man, he doesn't get satisfied even if they give the $100,000, you know, because they have planned to give $100,000. What they're going to do? Just misusing the money. And we get karmic reaction for it. When you don't use your asset to please Krishna, we have to suffer. And that's the reason we are suffering, because we are not doing the right thing. If you do right thing, then what is the suffering in this material world? You can live very happily with no anxiety, no botheration, nothing. Even you won't become sick. what to speak of other thing. Always remain happy. And that's what Prabhupada came to give us. But somehow or other we have so much. I think, I don't know, I live my life so differently. And I have so much good experience that when you surrender to Krishna, I didn't surrender yet, but still we can see how much Krishna has helped me. Just think about it. The way I live my life, I don't know how I'm maintaining my family. It just social security come in my bank account and all the bill get paid. I don't consume not a single moment on maintenance wise of my family. That's how we should manage our life. Become free from this entanglement completely. Arrange the way that you can remain aloof even though you are living in this material world. The swan, they swim in the water. They don't drink the water. If you throw some milk in there, the swan has the ability just to drink that milk. So we have to learn from that. Chetak bird. Chetak bird never drink the water. How impossible it is to catch the drop of water from the rain. But Chetak bird never drink the water. Always dependent on Krishna. When the rain comes, they open the beak and the drop goes into the body and they maintain the life. Just see that how much they follow the natures. And that's why they can freely fly in the sky. No anxiety whatsoever. So we have made our prison ourselves. We cannot blame on anybody. We are the one who has created this prison cell for us. And we feel so happy trying to fix that wall, trying to paint it. Like if you go to the hotel and if you are spending one night, you are not going to think about fixing that hotel room. You are just there for one night to sleep. Our life is like that. In eternity of our life for the soul, these 70 years is like a blink of eyes. It will go fast before you noticed. And time will come. And then we will regret it so much so that I don't want to use the word, but what the blank I did in my life. Haribol. We are so, I can speak for myself. We are so stupid, actually. When Krishna gave the promise, my devotee never perish, then become a devotee. That's all it's required. Nothing else. You become a devotee and your life will become successful. You don't have to go to the work even. There are so many examples in front of our eyes in our modern days even. But we have no faith because all old impressions from the previous life is telling us work like a hog. Then and then you will be able to live your life nicely. That's somehow or other the conception is there. We see that. I always remember that the donkeys, they carry that so much load throughout the day. They have a green grass on the side as they walk on the road. But they think that when I complete my whole day of work, then I will get the green grass. But we follow the green grass is free of charge is available on the side. But we don't see it. Same thing we are doing, Same exact thing.